on? It's been a hectic and crazy day. Obviously, it's the day we have to film a lunation workshop. They're always crazy. And it's even crazier today because solar eclipses really magnify and highlight and intensify kind of what's going on anyway and what's lingering just below the surface. So anything that's been bubbling and brewing is probably going to be coming to a culminating point today. And then mixed in, there's just this chaotic, raw, unadulterated, unfiltered energy that is chaotic and unembodied, and so there's room for chaos. Me and my friends have been trying to get my birthday plan together for today. I had a plan in place, and then obviously none of it could work out, or some of it couldn't, the pivotal beginning points. And so it's like I've been trying to work the logistics out of it all day. It's just been like acceptance, just go with it. Just hold on loosely, very loosely. So, good thing I don't usually make plans very well. So I'm used to this. But yeah, adaptability. So basically, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the different aspects that are happening right now, but I will touch on the fact that, so we're on our second new moon for Aries. And the first new moon was at the beginning of Aries season in the 0 degree during March. And so that began our journey through the sign of Aries, starting as the beginning, the Fool in the tarot, right? The new rebirth of self. And we've been in this mode of sort of like self-discovery and learning who we are as we embody like this up-leveled new version of ourselves. Because, you know, we've been coming to this point of having this huge new start in life where it's basically like we took out the tape from the old movie and now it's like a whole new story is starting. Or like Life the series was like finished, but then they were like, you know what, let's just bring it on, but we're gonna have like, we don't have to go by the former canon. It's all new rules. Like you're recreating. You've been given a chance to co-create your life now from the perspective of your consciousness now and who you want to be moving forward. And you get a chance to actually exercise free will and put your intentions out there and not just be on sort of a reactive mode all the time. So right before that Aries new moon, we had just come through Pisces season. And so that Pisces season was sort of like our last call for final purge before the new beginning it starts going. And so it really took us through a deep dive, lots of emotions coming up, right? Well, you know how when you clean the house really good and you dust everything and then you mop the floors, it's like a couple hours later you realize that everything needs another good like sweep and like wipe down, quick wipe off because like the dust has settled and it's recollected a little bit. That is what this eclipse season is. So when that Aries new moon hit in March, that was sort of like the opening credits of our show or our story. And so in screenwriting, right after the introduction, like the first 10 minutes in a movie, but it's shorter for a series, but the first little chunk of the movie is just to introduce you to who the character is in the context of this moment in time. Who are the key players around them? What is the situation? What's their life like? Once you get about 10 to 15 minutes in, or, you know, let's not get hung up on technicalities on minutes because it's like movie versus show, but you get it. Like just after that point, we're not lingering there too long. The first plot point happens. And what that is, it's the inciting incident that causes the story and the character and everything they know to flip on its head and set the character on a journey of the hero's journey, the adventure, the journey to self-discovery through the movie. But that's the thing, the catalyst that initiates the plot, and the subplot, right? Like the objective, the outer objective of the characters, and then the inner objective that's going on parallel to their outer journey. So basically, the first new moon was the opening credits and we're introducing the character. And so then we had that full moon, which was sort of like, all right, we're solid. We're past the credits now. We've got to look at the lay of the land. And now the second new moon in Aries is hitting. And so we're still in the beginning phase. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the baby. It's the birth of the self, right? Well, this is the rebirth of the self. And so now this eclipse season, eclipses bring on this energy that shakes things up, and they bring on major transformation, and they culminate things. And so if you've already had your consciousness and you've been putting your energy into things and you've been steady and stable and you keep at it, these eclipses can bring things to fruition for you, or give you a boon, or a lucky chance, or an acceleration of growth or evolution, or maybe a promotion. If there are things that need to be moved out of your life in order for you to get into that up level or receive that next level or that blessing, then the eclipse might bring about events that might take things out of your life that are outdated, that don't serve you anymore, that are no longer in alignment, that don't need to be there. And so that could be an example, like maybe you've been dissatisfied at your job for a long time and you know you've been wanting to leave, but you just haven't had like the courage to do it, or the direction, or a sense of comfort about it. And maybe the universe is just like putting some fire under your ass and you get fired. Or maybe, you know, it's a relationship where you've been confused about whether or not you are at a point with the person where it's just about being committed and going for it and doing the work together, or maybe you really aren't supposed to keep growing together and you're trying to force it and it's trying to end and you don't want it to. And so maybe it ends up like a sudden breakup or whatever. I know I've had that happen around eclipse season as well. So there could be, you know, sudden change. Don't be worried about it, because this is a very positive turn of events to get you directed onto a path that'll ultimately lead you to a deeper sense of meaning, using your talents and purpose and skills. It'll be to the betterment of your unfoldment and like more satisfying and fulfilling. I think we have a problem and we're like a little bit wary about trusting that the universe is like gonna lead us in directions that are actually more blissful and that we'll like more. And I think that's because of the consciousness that we were mostly raised in. But I do think that the universe wants us to have good things. And I do think that this eclipse can be very positive no matter what the current circumstances look like. Just choose, even in the midst of uncertainty, and even when things are uncomfortable and you don't know what's going on, you're feeling anxious, like that is the time to just say, okay, I'm overriding what's happening mentally and emotionally right now, and instead I'm choosing that I'm going to remain certain that the life spark of the Creator is in everything, including me. In the moment that I truly understand that, I can activate it within anything and turn any circumstances around. If I don't have a neurotic sense of trying to control or fear or grasp or take, or sense of scarcity in the midst of it, I choose to remain certain. I choose to observe and pray and involve the Creator and ask for that direction and follow my inner guidance with ease and peace. And I just own that you know, sometimes you just have to make a choice and you don't know if what choice is going to lead to where. And most of the time we're just being asked to choose something, own it, see how it goes, and then be willing to make adjustments, right? And so if we don't make adjustments, eclipse season comes in and makes adjustments, because we're not ever supposed to be perfect. We don't ever finish, you know, we're a work in progress forever. And so there's no perfected state to arrive at, so that's very liberating. But we also don't want to be stagnant either and complacent. So in addition to this Aries energy, it's like bold, it's going to be confident, it's going to be like go-getter, self-starter. Aries is ruled by Mars. It's the willpower, the drive, the desire to achieve. Sometimes competitiveness. It's very sexual. It can be very aggressive when out of balance. Anger can be one of the shadow sides of Aries. Negative impulsivity that leads to self-destruction. However, positive spontaneity and being able to be flexible and adaptable, are positive signs of Aries. So Aries, is that person that's like divide and conquer. No one's gonna stop me. I'm coming through. Very sunny, very leadership oriented, focused and direct. Cardinal sign. So very good at like the beginnings and the startings of energy. But the work that needs to be done is having that follow through to be able to sustain. Also, the sun is conjunct Jupiter, so that's expanding anything that's being brought into consciousness. It's expanding our opportunities. It's expanding our positive optimism and our outlook. It's expanding our good fortune and our good luck, and it's turning the wheels in our favor, or it can, if we can show up with like good energy and a good mindset and good expectations. The moon is conjunct Chiron, and Jupiter is also conjunct Chiron, so that can be very healing to old emotional patterns and subconscious things that have driven you in the past. You can finally start healing these things as they're coming up, making it more obvious than ever, so that you can be like, all right, cool, I see that from a mile away. I'm gonna do things differently this time in this new story, and I'm gonna go around this. It's like a little caution cone. Let's see, but yes, a lot of room for healing within our relationships, expansion, new beginnings, new relationships, and new relationship paradigms. Different experiences within even relationships that we currently have that we haven't had in the past. But you have to be willing to show up anew. You have to give yourself time to not be reactive. Don't make an impulsive action or say something you can't take back. Just try to take your time. Pause, what a pleasure. Why is this in my movie? Is what we learned from the Kabbalah Center. What's the message? What am I being shown? What can I do with this to elevate sparks of light instead of giving energy into negativity? So I think that let's start. We're going to do a Celtic cross with my custom deck, the Straightforward Oracle, which I'm currently typing the second draft up right now, you guys. I'm really excited about it. All right, this is going to be representative of who we are in the context of this current moment right now. This is always changeable because, so bad advice and endings came out. So bad advice comes up every now and then, and endings definitely make sense. So right now, expect certain things to end, or expect the way that certain things are, or the context about them to change. We, if you are here, are on a path of spiritual growth. Things happen to us for different reasons than they do just the normal person. It's because we have activated the game. They maybe have not, right? So we're playing in a different simulation, so to speak, than they are. So people will give you advice, and they'll be well-meaning, and it might even sound true to like traditional thought. But be careful, because they're not coming at it from the growth that you are, the perspective, all of the offloading and becoming self-aware of the old patterns and the wounds and the triggers. They also are not coming at it from a spiritual assignment perspective, where sometimes the obvious answer that is usually probably the right route maybe isn't exactly the right route. So turn inward right now, because as you're becoming your new self, part of being an elevated, sovereign, higher self is not letting other people tell you how to live your life. It's your turn to co-create with the Creator. So get by yourself about things. Pray out loud. Use the power of your mouth to talk to the Creator. It's extra powerful when you say your prayers out loud. Pretend they don't even count if they're silent. Because when Creator created the universe, it started from an auditory event. Whether you want to call it the Big Bang, that cataclysmic explosion. In poetry, we describe it as a voice saying, "Let there be light." The Hebrew letters would suggest a sound that produced a vibration that then produced a metaphysical reaction that created matter. So it all starts, though, with the mouth. The power of speech, of speaking what we want, speaking what blessings into our life. So pray on your own out loud, listen, accept that certain endings are happening, and just trust that it's all playing out for your highest good. But yeah, don't go to a lot of different people for advice right now, because even though it might seem right according to traditional thought, it might not be right for you in this particular moment. You and only you will know what to do, and you and the Creator. This is from the ego. So something is crossing you right now to trigger your ego. And whatever that is, it's only doing it to bring to light what still needs to be in your awareness in order to transcend it. And how we do that is when we want to react, we choose not to react the way that we think that we want to. We choose to respond differently. And we do that with, tuning inward to our consciousness, waiting for the right timing, but not doing things because we're afraid, what if we don't do it? Or, gotta act now, just be led by certainty and love and goodness. Because it's all about transcending our ego's control. Not necessarily, we're not trying to get rid of the ego. We need an identity, a sense of self, a sense of confidence enough to get out in the world, but we don't want to be driven by material concerns or concerns about our image or about, that whole me. We want to think of the bigger picture, Okay, so what's underneath the situation, the subconscious influence? It's time to juggle multiple jobs or clients, side hustles, balance life and work, and addiction also came up. So I think that because they're together, I think that to a certain degree we have to juggle things, and we need to do it with a sense of balance and a sense of joy and a sense of play. However, in this position, the subconscious influence that is affecting the situation is tied to juggling addictions or juggling things because of an addictive tendency. So maybe you bite off more than you can chew. Maybe you have a hard time committing to one project. But whatever it is, it has to do with an ego pattern that's finally coming to an end that needs to be overcome. And so that is the subconscious influence driving the events that are taking place to show you all of that. Okay, what is the past influence affecting the situation that is clearing up now? This is an issue of self-worth. Awesome. So that ties perfectly into this. When we have self-worth issues, we reach outside of ourselves to jobs, to titles, to people, to things, to sensual delights like food and shopping and drugs and whatnot, and sex and what have you, you name it. But we reach outside of ourselves to get hits of light. And it's all really the light of source. It's just wrapped up in these different vessels. And when we reach out for things to give us a sense of fulfillment and this sense of scarcity in this addictive way, it only results in more emptiness, and so we're reaching for more and more. Because the truth is, it's like we have to come to a state of fulfillment on the inside before anything will actually fulfill us anyway on the outside. And once we're free of that, we're free to enjoy life, and it doesn't control us. It doesn't have, chains over us. So all of this is coming to a completion the more that we're standing firm and deepening our self-worth, but standing firm in that as we go forward into this new beginning. Okay. I feel like this is part of the journey, is what's crowning us, and creation phase 4. So just go with it. We are in a period of testing. We are in the gauntlet. This is part of what is required of us to get to the culmination and the fulfillment of our manifestations, of our goals and our dreams. So it's like Spirit's like kind of trying to whisper in, like, to the dream, into the simulation, like, hey, this is a simulation. Please don't screw it up right now. Like, as long as you can get out of this, like, and pass and not, like, short circuit, you're good. You're this close to getting your manifestation. And that's the whole energy of the eclipse. It's like, all right, it's turning the volume up, the intensity up on everything. It's gonna see if you're going to give up or freak out or lose it or buckle under temptation or continue to put your heels in and not forgive, or whatever it is. It's tempting you with wanting to stick it to your self-righteous guns so much, but it's the sacrifice of letting your ego die to whatever you're holding on to that's going to allow you to open yourself up to receive all the energy that's going to come from that and ground it into something positive. What's straight ahead of us? Indecision is keeping you in a stalemate. So don't let all of the chaos and everything up in the air throw you off of being focused and using this new moon waxing period to stay focused and connected with your ultimate manifestations. Don't pay attention to the circumstances that are happening right now. Don't pay attention to the physical details of how you think they may be, like, showing up or not showing up or having turbulence. Focus your intention and all of your intention on the dream that you see yourself creating, how you want it playing out, and the feeling of it being played out. I know it's so hard to do that when you're being triggered and activated. But that is the key to sustaining the frequency right now. And that is the key to pushing yourself out of the stalemate. You have to get clear on what you really want and keep the desire alive and stick to your guns. Keep putting in the effort. Keep making the effort, keep showing up. That's the only thing that's going to get you over the hump out of creation phase 3 and into creation phase 4. When I've been doing the 2023 predictions through the year, I just posted October actually today. I still need to finish up with November and December, but creation phase 3 comes up over and over again throughout the year. So I have a feeling that our manifestations are going to be unfolding in stages, but also we have to be mindful not to let that scare us into, like, getting out of resonance with our belief and our good feeling emotions that are actually making us magnetic to, like, push us into the stage 4 of fulfillment and culmination. It's sort of like if we lose faith or we lose our desire or we get fearful or insecure about it, then we are, like, thrown back into stage 3 again of having to put in the effort, of having to push against all odds. So be mindful to just try to stay in an active state of giving all your effort and trying to stay positive and optimistic. So the perspective position that is affecting us now, our perspective, is graduation. So we feel ready to move on and to move forward and to expand. We feel that we've come out of a whole, like, level of life and we're ready to up level into this new state of being and consciousness and living. And so I think that we're having a little bit of, like, that anxiousness for it all to be getting started, but just take it easy. Oh my God, the other card that was in my hand is new beginnings. So don't worry, new beginnings are starting. After every ending, there's a new beginning. And I think that the big beginnings are beginning. That's why we're having to have so much patience. That's why we're being tested, like, even stronger, because things can be that much more powerful, that much more amazing. So how other people are affecting you, better left unsaid. At risk of a misunderstanding, words falling on deaf ears, this will cost something. Consider what you want to say. Consider if what you want to say is constructive or destructive. You may not have all the facts. Loose lips sink ships. So, whatever's going on right now that's a little turbulent, maybe better left unsaid. Maybe don't talk about it with people. You know, you might be getting bad advice, right? So don't be talking. Just don't say anything. Just keep it to yourself, keep it inside, put your focus on what you want and how you want it to play out, because the more you talk about what you don't want, the more you're creating what you don't want. Right now, we are trying to keep our hands clean and move towards forgiveness. So if there is a possibility of ending up in a confrontational conversation that you think may cause you to short circuit and backfire, maybe best to put it off for now until you're in a completely different energy about it. But right now, there's a lot of room for misunderstanding. There's a lot of room to fall out of resonance with yourself and your path just because of your own kind of energy, right? Anger, upset, anxiousness, fear, lack, doubt, those are very low vibrational feelings. So even if you're on the right path, just, you know, having yourself get bent out of shape or worn down can kind of throw you off even when you're going in the right direction, and that can be very confusing. Okay, so this card is going to be in the position of our hopes and fears. Save your money. Okay, so right now, wise spending. You may have something fun to look forward to. You may want to save for something for the future, or it may just be nice to have the feeling of abundance by building your savings. But definitely start looking into ways to build money by saving it in interest growing ways or passively earning ways. Don't go on any spending thrifts willy-nilly right now, because you may find that you have a fun opportunity present, or you may need your money for something. Either way, I think there's a lot of things that you are hoping for, and if you hope for things, then you probably need money to go do them. And most of our fears usually involve not having the bread to survive, to keep a roof over our heads. So saving money will solve kind of both your hopes and fears. So it's not a bad thing to make sure that you're very healthy in right now, especially when you're improving self-worth. Self-worth affects love and money. And so this Jupiter conjunction with the sun can also bring in a lot of abundance for us. And then in the 10th position, it says you are fretting, and find a teacher. You are fretting, and it's needless worry, unfocused attention, stop obsessing, calm down, it doesn't matter. Excuse me. Your frantic energy is making it worse. Peace, calm. Everything will work its way out. No use crying over spilt milk. Stop for now and leave it alone. So yeah, there may be things that you're anxious to see play out, or you're not sure like how it's playing out at the moment. But your franticness is going to get the energy all tangled up, even if it is playing out for your highest good, and it's sure to work out fine. So you can kind of like throw a wrench in your own progress in that way. So just relax. This card specifically, I wrote it to point out to you that you are having needless worry, and that it's your anxiousness itself that could be causing or perpetuating further turbulence or blocks or challenges. Okay, let's pull Illumination card from the Moonology deck. Ooh, okay. Ooh, you are good enough. That makes sense with our, oh, I love this. Oh, two cards came out together. A lot of times they do. Little hair shedding there. You are good enough, right? This is the issue of self-worth is what this is all about. This is a big turning point in your healing for self-worth. This is the full moon in Virgo. So to practice self-worth, show up for yourself in those consistent ways on a daily basis, in those healthy routines that make you feel radiant, healthy, mentally balanced, work-life balance. Like really just continue to show up for your routines like you have been, and don't get lax about it, because it's when we follow through on our word to ourselves, that's when we show ourselves that we love ourselves. And that's when we practice deep self-worth. And that's when we are so devoted that we care, and we hold other people to those standards too, and they can feel it and they don't mess around. We also pulled full moon in Libra. So a win-win outcome is in the forecast. So maybe you are just wondering how everything's going to play out for you. And I think that things are going to be good. I think that Jupiter in these conjunctions, and with Chiron, the sun and the moon, I'm really excited. After that, full moon in Libra, with these 2 new moons in Aries, I feel like things are off to a beautiful new start in every area of our life. But the things that are affected by self-worth and that self-worth affects are love and money. And those are really the things that keep us from feeling truly deeply satisfied, is if we're worried about money, or we're not settled or happy and blissful in love, you know? And love can be not only romantic, but our friendships, our familial relationships. But I have a feeling that we might have love coming in soon too. I think it's possible. Lots of new things starting, lots of new opportunities. So I think we're primed for the pickings. Okay, let's check in with the Angel Wisdom Tarot. Get 1 card from that deck, and then we'll get some clarification cards from the Modern Witch Tarot. All right. Ooh, what is this? Okay, love it so much. This is 3 of Swords. Great sadness that will heal with time. Let go of the past. Personal growth that comes from challenges. Healing misunderstandings. Being there for those in need. Eek. So yeah, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, eclipse season can bring up shakeups and breakups. It can bring up your former breakups and have you thinking about all of it. And that's part of what it's trying to do. It's trying to shake out all that residue from, you know, things that were said to you in the past, or things that you've gone through and been through, and ideas that you took on about yourself that maybe aren't true, or that aren't true anymore. And so you're healing from all that. But yeah, if you're going through difficulty right now, or you feel like you're in separation from someone, or in a misunderstanding or an upset, you know, it's good to just err on the side of forgiveness, compassion, and love right now. And, you know, there might be relationships coming to an end, and part of what prevents the suffering from that is just allowing what is no longer really in alignment to fall away, and not trying to hold on and force it, because I've done both. And I can honestly say, when I finally did allow something to fall away when it was supposed to, it was the greatest thing ever. I felt like my whole life just restarted. So don't worry, there is hope. And no matter what's happening, it's happening so that things get better, and so that you become even more of yourself, and even happier, and even more joyous. You just have to be willing to let that path open up to you, and be willing to explore when it does. Okay, let's pull some cards from the Modern Witch Tarot to get a little bit more idea of what's happening. Ooh, 5 of Swords. So yeah, it's like there is just a conflict going on within the mindset right now, within the mental scape, with ego agendas and things. And so the 5 of Swords is like, there's all these people in the situation, and you know, it looks like there is a winner, that the winner takes all, but it's like at the expense of like everybody's upset. And so don't put your ego first, you know, watch what you say, better left unsaid. There's the potential for things to just go off nasty right now in this energy. And so it's best that you just, like, don't hold on to your truth and your agenda at all costs. Just you know, be true to your heart, be true to yourself right now, but don't be pushy with the universe. Don't be forceful, just be in a state of surrender and trust and allow. But yeah, make sure that you're careful right now about conversations. If someone's triggering you, just try to, you know, somewhere in the Course of Miracles it says our strength is in our defenselessness. And it's like, you know, when someone's coming at you and you're not responding, they just run out of gas. There's nothing for them to go on, right? The world, it's like we finally learned our lesson. Justice, this usually means that things are going to be ruled in your favor, and that you're being looked upon favorably. It's like, yeah, there is some kind of upheaval and upset right now, and maybe you're realizing that like what you want is being challenged or whatever, but I would say just don't get your hands dirty, don't get involved. Stay on the side of good, because you've learned your lesson. You've come to the culmination of all of this growth, and because of that, you're going to be ruled upon favorably. Things can really fall and play out in your favor, in your highest good, but you just don't want to be reactive. Because the Queen of Pentacles is out last. And the Queen of Pentacles is like, she's so grounded and she's so nurturing, and she's able to have like a beautiful love life and spiritual life and home life and work life. And she's kind of can do it all, but she's known as the catch. So whether or not this represents a man or a woman, it's like you're the catch, or you're sure to be successful and fruitful in your endeavors. It's just that you have to keep your hands clean. And that's been part of our other readings this week so far. So I would go back and watch some of my other videos that I posted for this week's readings, like the energy oracle forecast, the anchor message for the week, and actually the manifestation message. But yeah, I think that, yeah, things can definitely come out in your favor, but you just need to just mind your P's and Q's, stay in your lane, and, you know, just act in integrity. Okay, we're gonna check in with the magical mermaids and dolphins about our manifestations. What do we need to know for the next 2 weeks? This waxing cycle. Accept heaven's help. So you've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. So like we said before, definitely use your mouth to say your prayers out loud for heaven's guidance, and don't look to other people. Or like if people are trying to help you, obviously like be open to their assistance, but don't like go looking for other people to like tell you what to do. Just tune into source, and then let source send you help. Like if somebody happens to like say something that you catch and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the answer I was looking for, then great. But like don't go to all your friends and like keep telling the same stories and all that. You know what that is. Okay, mother healing. As your feelings toward your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly and accurately. That's very true, because the mother wounds affect our self-worth, and that self-worth in the mother wound affects our ability to make money. So definitely things about forgiveness have been coming up. Things about parent healing have been on the front burner since last year. And so I think it happens in layers and stages. But this year, we're over and over again, we've had to circle back and, you know, heal things and confront things with the people who are closest to us in our life. And it's been a lot of mother-father stuff. So right now, focus on making things good and right with your mother, forgiving the mother, loving the mother, your ideas of motherhood. Allow those things to be healed, and allow yourself to have a new relationship. Just start fresh, start with a clean slate about your mindset of motherhood and everything. And understand that there is an archetypal sense of mother and a longing of mother that no earthly mother is just really ever gonna live up to. So in order to get that mother, you know, love, tune into Mother Mary, Jesus's mother. Tune into the supernal energy of God as feminine mother. Pay attention, notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. So just confirmation that when we pray, we're going to be answered and we're going to be given guidance. Tune into that and trust it, and pay attention to synchronicities. Pay attention to what they are and what the messages are that they're trying to present to you. You're being helped. Heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see results yet. So yeah, you guys, don't fret. Everything is playing out for your highest good. The parts and the pieces are being moved behind the scenes. You just have to trust. Sit pretty. Don't do anything crazy right now. Just be wonderful. Just perpetuate absolute radiance and love, peace and serenity. Do your best to show up for your dreams and goals. Don't force anything. Don't force your agenda. And just allow things to unfold. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So this has to do with the obsessing and the addiction and all of that, the money problems. Fix those things. Make long-term plans that fix those issues for you, that free you so that you can actually dream and enjoy your life and not be, bound by addiction and constant trying and fear and lack and doubt. It's like, just address what's keeping you feeling trapped. What do you need to finally be liberated within any situation? Because it doesn't matter where you are, how free you are, or what you give yourself permission to do, your mental prison is still going to follow you. And so it's only when you take care of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your heart, mind, and soul, that's how you free yourself. Okay, let go of control issues. So that's part of freeing yourself. It's just like, don't try to control anything. Just be free and free yourself, free your mind. Stop worrying about it. Don't control. Just let everything unfold naturally. Go with the flow. Allow the situation to unfold naturally is what the card says. I'm expecting my friend to pull up any minute. My birthday is tonight, so everybody's gonna meet here. Right. Ooh, okay. Release your ex. So, eclipse season, it's time to finally say goodbye to the past. If you are coming out of a relationship, just know that it's a relationship that needs to be completed, that you've graduated, that it's not a failure, you're just done. There's no more to receive from where you've been. Now it's about moving forward. Clear your energy. Right? If you have been single for a minute, make sure that you're not holding on to the echoes of what your ex tried to project on you. Make sure that you're not taking those wounds and expectations with you to the next person. Because we got the honeymoon card. And enjoy this bliss of holiday time together. So yeah, this could be by the next holiday or some time when there's a special occasion going on. But new love is coming in. It's just that right now we're in the initial plot point that's happening, and we don't know what's happening to all the characters in the movie, right? Stuff could be happening in another scene that you're not in, that you just don't know about. So hold on to hope. Your dreams can come to fruition at any point. And one of my dreams is growing this channel. So if you haven't already, you should definitely subscribe, like this video. Comment if you don't know what to say, leave an emoji, share it, save it in a public or private playlist. There's so many things you can do to help it in the algorithm. I really appreciate you helping, because it helps other people get the messages too. Okay, and then we are going to check in. We need some motherly advice from Jesus' mom, Mary. What do you want to tell us, Mary? What's our motherly advice? Feminine. Ooh, I really wanted to be in the feminine today. That's why I was really crabby about having to do a bunch of production coordinating for my celebrations this morning. But yeah, I wanted to do white lace dress, something very magical, femme and flowy for the eclipse. But yeah, feminine. Allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity, which means allowing a situation. Not trying to force things, not trying to, aggressively push for things. Just receiving intuition, waiting in peace and stillness, letting your optimism guide you and lead you, enjoying the sensuality of life, and then being able to be free and playful and lend yourself to absurdity, right? But I think that when men need to get connected with their feminine more, I think it's more about allowing their intuition to come through and being able to trust that. And it's about becoming more open and comfortable and in touch with their emotions. It's about their growth in their emotional intelligence. So yeah, and then maybe even being more creative and expressive in ways that they hadn't been, or they hadn't felt like maybe comfortable to do before. So, all right, and then one final word from Jesus. This is from an oracle deck called the Loving Words from Jesus. It's Bible verses that were things that he said. We have, what things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them and you shall have them. So excited. Okay, you guys, Jesus, you heard it here. Jesus said it. He said, what things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them and you shall have them. So pray out loud for your desires. Believe that they are yours already. Celebrate the having of them. Rejoice like it's happening, like you're crazy. Just go ahead and go with it. Live in that reality, and you shall have them. What things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. I have this wizard staff that Jesus is holding. I'm going to show you right now. I don't know if it'll fit in the frame, but it's like got the whole thing. It's like, it's the exact one. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoy my dress. Look at this. I'm gonna do like the whole like bottom underneath thing, and I'm just gonna risk it because you know what, people have been doing it. It's a big birthday, you guys. It's a big birthday today. It's 40. I'm 40. So I thought I would do something kind of sheer and go with a sheer dress, something bold, but also a little Stevie, a little Florence. I think I like it. I hope you guys do too. If you don't, then too bad. This is my favorite. All right, well, have a good solar eclipse. I hope you survive it. Ciao.